What's up, everyone? Welcome to Mike and Ant. We're here for another Sunday's game picks. We also want to let you guys know, shout out to our sponsors, W Energy. You got the promo code below, Mob Squad 508. Don't hesitate to use the QR code. Go over to their site. Anything you grab, 10% will be off of your purchase. Now, with that being said, fresh off a Dodgers World Series victory. What's going on, bro? I know you're out there in LA listed to the
Yeah, we
fire.
out here. I'm out here in LA. They're already popping off the fireworks. They're about to be celebrating all night. I probably won't get no sleep tonight either because they're gonna be wilding all night.
It's all
They'll be
right.
flipping cars, setting shit on fire.
Well, at least you got football tomorrow. Well, today
Yeah,
in a few hours. Well, tomorrow for you. Today for me. I'm on the East Coast, so it's already past midnight. Um, and it could have been worse. It they y'all won. We won, and that's what's happening. Could have lost and still
yeah, I
had.
know. There's a couple times I thought we were gonna lose, but man, we somehow pulled that out of our ass. But we got it done. A W is a W.
That was a hell of a game, and shout out to
It was
Will
a hell
Smith.
of a series. Hell of a series.
Yep, shout out to Will Smith getting jiggy with it. The
Yep.
new Fresh Prince of LA.
Damn right. He be the most famous Will Smith in LA now.
For sure, for sure. But other than that, how's your week been going, bro?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
I hear that. I hear that. How's your Halloween? Any trick or treaters run up on your house?
Nah, that's the one thing though. Since the pandemic, I haven't seen like no trick or treaters.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't had no knocks at my door in a long time. I miss. I mean, back in my day, and now see, I'm the old one. I'm saying it. Back in my day, I mean, we was egging shit up. We was toilet paper and everything. But we had fun
Yeah,
on that.
same here. I don't. I kind of feel bad for the kids today. Like they don't get to experience what we experienced back in the day.
Yeah, Halloween isn't shit no more. I feel like the
Nah.
adults are having more fun with it now than the kids.
Yeah, the adults they like dress up and go to like Halloween parties or go clubbing.
Yeah, yeah, crazy. I seen some wild red carpet costumes. I think Heidi Klum. Just look up her costume on the red carpet when you get a chance. But let's dive into these games whenever you're ready, bro.
All right. Well, first things first. Since we did not record last Sunday, I
Yeah.
did want to say rest in peace to Nick Mangold.
Oh,
He passed away last week of kidney disease, and it sucks too because he died waiting for a kidney transplant. And also to rest in peace to Carol Davis. She is the widow of Al Davis, the mom of Mark Davis, the current owner, but she passed away last week too. So just RIP to them. And then from a wrestling side, I heard that IRS is on hospice care. So just prayers out to that family too.
his son,
Eh,
his son died a couple years ago.
Yeah, he's the father of Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas.
Yeah. Oh, Dallas had a rough few years.
Yeah, he lost his brother. He's about to lose his dad. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, 100%. But prayers definitely go out to the family for sure. All
Yeah,
those, all those families.
all those families. But before we get to the picks, though, I want to break the news of the day, and that is the Eagles trading a sixth-round pick to the Ravens for Jair Alexander. Any thoughts on that trade?
It pissed me the f off, man. Like nothing against Roger McCrary because yeah, here's what I look. You tell me like does all right with Connell Lake on a contract year and bringing in a cheaper guy kind of just gives you the answer what they're thinking there. It didn't bring us an outside corner. It brought us another guy that could kind of play the slot and move around, which is Connell Lake's position. Which I mean, not saying they would trade him, but not saying they wouldn't if somebody offered something. But I feel like that just is kind of one of those moves where you insured yourself if you can't keep him next year, you got Roger McCrary. But that does absolutely nothing to bring us a cornerback on the outside. And we paid more for him than the Ravens, than the Eagles paid for Jair Alexander.
Yeah,
He's
all it took was a sixth-round pick for him.
and they got a seventh round back, and
Yeah.
they got him. So that's what we needed. This is why the Eagles keep staying above the bullet. This is exactly why. It's like they're getting um steals for like nothing. It's like teams call them, know they have a chance to win here. Who do you want? I give them to you for this. It's like I don't understand why it's so hard for these other teams to pull players, and then all of a sudden, just look at the Eagles trades. Like I don't understand them. Like I'm just like I'm disappointed that he was available for that, and our trade for a cornerback ended up being Roger McCreary. And this isn't a knock on him. I think he's a good player. I just think that we already have a player that does what he does. He's not going to line up on the outside and defend, which is what we need more of.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'll say about Jair Alexander though is that which one are we gonna get? Are we gonna get the one from Green Bay or the one from Baltimore? Because the one from Baltimore really has been good this year.
And I
Like
think
there's times like I forget he's even on the team.
but I think that's because their defense is so bad. With our defense is good. I think you get more of the good Jair Alexander because he's not out there running with just an unmanned defense. You see what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
we got a line that we like him on our defense. I just think works. Him on the Ravens, I don't think works. I think you'll see him on the Eagles is gonna work, and that's why it bothers me. If I thought they was gonna get the guy that was running around lost in Baltimore, I wouldn't even be upset with the move.
Yeah, it's just crazy how I mean maybe Harry Roseman is a good negotiator, but it's crazy how the Eagles just make all these moves, make all these trades.
They're not done yet neither. They're gonna probably
Nah, yeah, the trade deadline's on Tuesday. We'll see what other moves they make.
oh trust me, I guarantee you they're gonna pull in either Phillips, maybe Trey Hendrickson. They're gonna pull in stuff they don't even need just because it's gonna be there for them to get.
Also, too, watch out for Miami because there's a lot of players on their team that's on the trade block.
Yeah,
So we'll see what type of moves they make.
I believe so too. I mean, I think a lot of these teams should be in trade mode. Some of them not so much, like the Jets. I don't think should be in sell mode. I think they have issues, but they have good.
Shit.
Yeah, you good. So if I was the Jets, I think that they should be in. I wouldn't be in sell mode because they drafted great, and to see them have to get rid of Sauce, Hall, or maybe Wilson next year, it's like you're drafting A+ players. Like, what you're gonna draft them to develop them and get rid of them?
Well, yeah, I agree with you. They shouldn't. The Jets shouldn't be sellers. They're just a quarter. I think they're like a quarterback away
Yeah,
of being a playoff team.
yeah,
And right now they have the number one pick. The only problem though is that a lot of the players that everybody kept saying that the 2026 quarterback class is going to be way better than 2025.
not looking
But
good.
a lot of all those players that are supposed to be great that's coming out, they're all talking about staying in school.
That's
Arch Mann is talking about staying in school. Carson Baker's talking about staying in school.
yeah,
Obviously, Drew Aguilar, he wants to stay in school because he got hurt. So, give him another year to get healthy and kind of help up his draft stock
yeah,
because you don't know how the injury is going to affect his draft stock this coming up draft.
yeah,
But yeah, so I mean, the Jets are picking him at a bad time to suck because all the players that we thought might go number one are talking about staying in school. So they might have to wait till 2027 to even touch these guys.
yeah.
And so I don't know who's going to be available for them to redraft at the number one pick at quarterback.
That's a very good point. But I just don't like the Jets as sellers. I think there's other teams that should be sellers way quicker than the Jets.
Oh yeah, real quickly about the Dolphins. This happened. This was breaking news yesterday,
General manager.
but they fired their GM and not the coach. But so, what are your thoughts about them getting rid of the GM?
It's another bad decision, I think, because the GM's job is to bring in good players. The Dolphins were loaded the past few years. Like he did his job. I don't hear them, complaining about bad contracts. That ain't the problem. The problem is they're not playing good. It's like, but even when you go to that, it's like you got A Chain, you got Waddle, they got players on defense. They've drafted decent. It hasn't been, A's across the board, but the GM, I don't think the GM was the problem. But I think this is more of a cleaning house. I don't think nobody survives to the end of the year. And I think that letting a coach know he could come in and pick his own GM is more enticing for coaches to come to Miami. So I think it's more of that.
Well, actually, I agree with you, but I have it the other way around because a lot of these teams they let their GM hire the coaches. So I think Miami fired him now so they can give him more time to look for a GM early, and then when the season's over, whoever they hire as the new GM could fire Mike McDaniel's and hire whoever he wants to be the coach. So I think
Well,
that's why they did it so the new GM could hire his coach instead of the current GM who's tied to Mike McDaniel's.
I
Just get rid
agree.
of both of them.
You know why I think it goes the other way? Because when it's like a big name hire, like say for example a Rex Ryan, who I
Hmm.
think back in coaching, I think the coach is going to be maybe more of a marriage, but I think that the coach would be involved in the GM that's coming in if you want a big name coach to come in. But I I I seen this on Twitter, and I wouldn't doubt this. I wouldn't doubt that you're right that they hire a GM, but I also wouldn't doubt that they go after Shula. Like if look what he's doing with the Rams defense. And
Yeah, but do you really want that job? Because then you're always gonna be compared to your grandfather.
but see that's the thing. Do you or do you not? Maybe he does. You see what I'm saying? So that I mean it might just be like a full circle moment where
Because like I agree, he's gonna be a head coach at some point, maybe this year or next year. But I just think for him though, like going to Miami and always being because no matter what he does, he's gonna be judged by what his grandfather did.
yeah, but I think some people I don't think not everybody is worried about that. Some people run towards that, some people shy away from it. But I think there's some people that don't mind, you know what I'm saying, try to compete in compete with their family's legacy, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, like I just know, like I don't know if you remember Brian Greasy back in the day,
Yeah,
but like I felt bad for him because like from jump, your dad was a Hall of Fame quarterback in the '70s, so you got to live up to that legacy. And then to make matters worse, you get drafted by the Denver Broncos to replace John Elway
yeah,
after he retired. So it's like not only you got to live up to your dad's legacy, but then you got to replace like the greatest quarterback in Broncos history.
yeah,
And it's like he was never able. I mean, he was a decent quarterback, but people look at him like a bust because he wasn't able to live up to his expectations. But those are too high of expectations for anybody
yeah.
to live up not only to your Hall of Fame dad, but then also one of the top 10 quarterbacks of all time.
What the good thing about Schuler is he's not going in after the 16-0 season. He's going in after Dolphins sucked for 30 years.
Yeah, that's true.
So at this point, you know, you got this is where his his family legacy is, bro. They're just asking you to be like here. Like, if you ever get as good as, Don, then I mean, that's obviously a crazy achievement, but I don't know if you could even put that on him, let alone anybody. It's like he's not going to be that in Miami. If he wants to be that, he better just take over for Sean McVay because you got a chance to do that in LA if you want to eventually be the coach there.
Yeah. And he knows everybody in the organization.
Yeah, you're not doing it in Miami, but you can make them a better team and it'll be a good story. But I think then again, like if the Dolphins sell everybody, I don't know how good that job looks. So I don't know.
Well, I think the question for the Dolphins though is it's not just about hiring the coach, but you also got to hire a coach that the players are going to respect. Because that's the problem with Mike McDaniel's is I feel like he lost the respect of the locker room. That's why you got players not showing up to meetings.
Well, I mean, you watch him at the podium. Do you think he speaks any better when he's back there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if that's the way he talks to the media, I can only imagine how he talks to the team.
Yeah. So I kind of see what their problem would be with him. He's not a good speaker. So he needs to have somebody else talking or something.
Maybe he's just better off as an offensive coordinator, even though in San Francisco, I don't know what he did as an offensive coordinator because Shanahan called all the plays.
I don't know. I think he showed the first couple of years in Miami. He's a pretty good offensive mind, but I don't know. Honestly, don't know what happened from those first two seasons this year. It's just like everything just started going downhill.
Nah, like I said, I just think they lost respect for him. That's why they don't show up to meetings. And I did find it interesting too. On Thursday night, they said that the offensive coordinator is calling plays because normally he's the one that calls the plays, but on Thursday he let his OC call the plays. So maybe that's just him accepting his fate. I don't know, or maybe he felt like they needed to change. But I thought that was interesting.
Well, they look like shit. So it was what it
Yeah,
was.
they
Maybe
look like shit. He was like, hey, at least it's not my fault this time. I didn't call shit.
you think you could do better here.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's like, yo, I had enough. Tap out. I mean,
Like, he's just telling Kyle like, "Hey, let me come on home after this season."
bro, Lamar had like 5 touchdowns and like 140 yards passing. It's like, bro, they picked on them. It was a pretty bad game. Holy shit. Both obviously picked up the easy dub on Thursday.
Yeah, at first I was like, maybe 7.5 is too much, but then I was like, nah. With
Man,
Lamar coming back, they're gonna beat him.
I took the bet last minute and the spread was 8.5 and they still hit it. I still took Ravens taking the spread.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And the Ravens got fined too for the NFL's mad because they. So I guess what happened was that the point spread was originally 8.5
Yeah.
last week against the Bears. And then when the Ravens announced, I think Saturday, that Lamar's not playing, and all of a sudden the spread went from 8.5 down to 2.5. So the NFL got mad because like Lamar practiced all week, so that's why people thought he was gonna play.
Yeah.
And then Baltimore at the last minute was like, "Nah, we're gonna rest him."
Yeah. They said he was a full participant in practice, but it really was just with the scout team.
Yeah,
Motherfuckers.
they had him pretend to be Caleb Williams.
Yo, crazy. Oh man. Oh, fuck it. Let's dive in. What game we start with?
All righty. So the first game we'll start with is actually speaking of Caleb Williams, we got the Chicago Bears at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bears are 4-3 after losing last week to the Ravens. They that ended their 4-game losing streak. The Cincinnati Bengals are 3-5, but despite the fact that they're 3-5, they're only one game behind Pittsburgh for first place in that division.
Yep.
And the Ravens too at 3-5. As bad as they've been, they're only one game out because Pittsburgh hasn't really separated themselves. But anyways, Cincinnati gave the Jets their first win last week. They blew that 15-point fourth quarter lead to lose that game. And if they miss the playoffs, that's going to be the game that they're going to look back on and that cost them. But the Bears on the road are 2.5-point favorites. So what's your thoughts on Bears Bengals?
Um, I thought excuse me, the Bears was taking a couple steps forward. Then last week, I don't know what the hell that shit was. I was like, I don't. It just halted me thinking that. And I come into this game thinking that no matter what, since Flacco has been on the Bengals, we see they could put up points. Even in defeat last week, they dropped high 30s, like 39, 38, I think the score was.
Yeah, they scored 38.
The Bears can't score that amount of points. I just don't see their offense putting up that amount of points. So I honestly think Joe Flacco walks into this game, probably throws 3 touchdowns and beats the Bears. Probably by a touchdown, at least a touchdown margin, just because I don't think the Bears can score like that. For the
That
Bears,
that's why I'm taking the Bengals plus 2.5.
yeah, for sure, easy bet. I think. Now for the Bears to win this game, their defense got to play lights out. They got to get some turnovers, and Caleb Williams will have to play perfect, clean ball, and he's gonna have to have a 3, 4 touchdown game. Like, doesn't mean he has to throw them. These could be, but maybe the running back gets 2, he gets 2 touchdowns, but they're gonna have to put up probably 30 points to win this game. and that's why I'm gonna go with the Bengals to win. I think they're gonna score more than.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Bengals are going to win. I'm actually surprised the Bears are even favored. I think Cincinnati, they're kicking themselves. I don't know what happened defensively. I mean, they were dominating that game, and they gave up two touchdowns in the final 5 minutes to the Jets of all teams to
Yeah,
lose that game. So they got to get it together, and hopefully they rebound this week. I was listening to Dan Patrick, and I can't remember if it was Chris Sims or if it was Steve Young, because I listened to both interviews.
yeah,
But they were saying that the Bears are doing Caleb Williams a disservice because Ben Johnson's trying to put him in a box, and it doesn't really fit his game. Because Ben Johnson wants Caleb Williams to be like Jared Goff, but that's not Caleb Williams' game. And they were saying that the Bears got to let Caleb Williams just kind of play him like himself and let him do the things that he did in college.
that's
And I
crazy.
thought that was an interesting point because, like, no, you can't tell him to beat Jared Goff, and that's not his game or what he is. His game in college anyway was similar to Patrick Mahomes.
I would agree with that, but also what they're telling him to do is exactly the opposite of coaching. It's like he has a system. Now you're telling me forget what made me good. Let me just let him go out there and freestyle. Like, bro, this is probably why the kid's running around still not getting shit because he's hearing stuff like that. But it's like, nah, obviously he's not the pocket passer of Jared Goff, and no one's telling you to not run. But I mean, does Caleb Williams look like he's held back from running? He runs.
No, he runs.
Yeah, so it's like, what do we talk about? He's just telling you you're a quarterback. He needs you to focus on throwing from the pocket. So is that what you're saying? He's not golf. I get that, but you do realize he has to get better at that. So that's, I mean, I don't think you tell a guy to, especially maybe a rookie year. I told you, I think you tell Jackson Dot that or Cam Ward that because it's the first year. If you get confused, do what you got to do. I don't want you to overthink, but not in year 2, 3 going. You see what I'm saying? You got to
Yeah,
strides in those. Like Caleb's not a young kid no more. He is, but he's not a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So I don't agree with that. I don't want you to take away what's special from him. Like, yeah, if you got to run, run. Um, you let him get away with making some passes that maybe you wouldn't let want another quarterback to make, even if once in a while he makes a mistake. You continue to let him to do that. Do that. It's kind of like Mahomes, but you need him to develop in the pocket. And if he doesn't, he's not going to be successful. So I think that's where it's like a gift and a curse. If you tell him just do you, it's like get through your progressions. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he needs to get better on.
I could see that. But I mean, in fairness to him, though, this is a new offense. So even though he's not a rookie, he is learning the new offense for the first time.
That is true, but going through your reads and pocket passing is the same no matter what system you're doing. You know,
Yeah.
that's the part that I feel like Ben Johnson is adamant on because he's worked with golf for so long. So it's about working the pocket, going through your reads. Like
Well, yeah, not only that, but at least with golf, he's a very timing passer. So it's all about getting your timing down and knowing where your receiver is going to be at what point in the route.
yeah. But I also feel like Ben Johnson needs to get him to do more of it to know if he can't do it. You see what I'm saying? If it's something that he can't do, maybe he adjusts it. You know what I'm saying? But you're supposed to be generational. So you should be able to do it. Like people say Jared Goff's not that good. And you're generational. So you're telling me he could do something you can't do? Think of it like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to think of it.
That's all I'm saying. If I'm Ben Johnson, it's like, bro, they told me you was generational, and people are trying to push Jared Goff out the NFL, basically. So there's no way you're telling me he's just that much better than you at doing something that involves throwing the football, which is your job. Like that's all I'm saying.
All right. But as far as the game is concerned, we both agree the Bengals are going to win, and we have them definitely covering that plus 2.5.
Yeah.
So next up, we have, speaking of Jared Goff, we have the Minnesota Vikings 3-4 at the Detroit Lions 5-2. The Lions are 8.5 point favorites in this game. And what do you know? JJ McCarthy is healthy after Carson Wentz had a shoulder surgery, so he's out for the season. And now JJ, all miraculously, is healthy.
Yeah. He,
So he'll get the start
he went
tomorrow.
he went through a silent benching.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I was about to ask you because like I thought it was the last two games they had him as QB3.
Yeah.
So it's like you're telling me he's not healthy enough to play, but he's healthy enough to play if both of your quarterbacks get hurt.
Yeah. Mhm.
And
We'll
then
see.
now, and then now that Carson Wentz is out for the season, he now jumps from QB3 all the way back to QB1.
And we'll also see if he's been developing good the past few weeks because I'm sure that O'Connell's put an emphasis on that. He's a QB guy, so I'm sure
Yeah.
he's been working with him hard. But there's also been rumors that they're possibly interested in bringing back Kirk Cousins. So does that put him back to QB3 again?
I
That's
mean, how
all.
bad is that? How bad is that ankle?
That's all. I mean, that's all I'm
And
saying.
even though, in all honesty, though, after watching Kirk Cousins last week, they better off just
Yeah,
developing Jake.
I agree. I agree. But I do think that Cousins has support like with Jefferson and guys in that over there. So I feel like
Well, I mean, he has support from the coaching staff because, like, according to Kevin O'Connell, like they didn't want him to go, but it was the GM that made the decision. Like, you know, they thought Kirk Cousins coming off of a torn Achilles wasn't worth what Atlanta paid him.
yeah, and he wasn't.
Yeah, and Atlanta's learning that the hard way. They got $100 million backup.
Yeah,
But as far as this game goes, I think the Lions win this game fairly easily. They're starting to get healthy defensively. That's been their issue really the last 2 years. Just the defense can't stay healthy, but they're getting some guys back. They had the bye week last week, so a lot of their secondary should be getting healthy and coming back. There are reports that they're interested in Bradley Chubb, so we'll see what moves they make this next week. But for
and
this week, I think they beat the Vikings, and I think they covered the 8.5.
I mean, I don't think anybody should have a doubt the Lions are winning this game. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go out a limb here and say that JJ looks a little bit better. I don't think he's gonna play a great game, but I think he'll play a little bit better. And because it's a division game, I'm gonna say the Lions win by a touchdown, but don't cover that spread.
All right. Yeah, my only fear though is that JJ McCarthy's been learning from Carson Wentz. I don't know if that makes me. I'm not. That doesn't make me confident.
At all.
So they couldn't find nobody better to teach this kid.
Oh, listen, man. Lord of mercy.
All right. So next up, we have the Carolina Panthers 4-4 at the Green Bay Packers 5-1-1. The Packers are at home. This game's in Lambeau. After their win last week, Jordan Love was named Offensive Player of the Week. Andy Dalton last week, he did not look good against the Buffalo Bills. He looked washed, to be honest with you. But Andy Dalton does get to start again this week. And because of that, the Packers, who are everybody's Super Bowl favorite, are 13.5 point favorites. And I will say this about the Packers. I
Did you
still don't see it.
just
But if
Brett?
they play like they did last week, then yeah, there's a chance they are in San Francisco playing for the Super Bowl. But I still need to see it consistently. I still think they're the second best team in that division. But I do think they'll win this game at home. Carolina, if Andy Dalton plays the way he did last week, this game could get ugly.
No, Bryce Young's back.
Oh, I thought Andy Dalton started.
No, Bryce Young just came out the cut. He's healthy.
All right.
They've seen
I'll
enough.
take that. I take that back.
I don't know if it changes much, but
Nah.
what is that? That's a big spread, right?
Yeah, it's a 13 point spread.
Yeah, I wonder if it changes.
It's at 13 right now. I'm looking at it. So
It
I don't know what it was before.
only it was 13 and a half. so it didn't change much.
Nah, he didn't change much at all.
They say he's worth a half a point. That's crazy. Half pint size. So just take off a half.
Well, that Green Bay with Michael Parsons, he's gonna get after him.
Yeah, what you got? I know obviously we both got the package winning this. It just comes down to do you have them covering the spread or not? And we'll go with I guess we'll go with 13 or 13 and a half, whatever you see.
Well, yeah, right now I'm just looking at 13. I don't have him covering. I think it's gonna be. I think the Packers will win by double digits, but I don't think they'll cover. I don't think they'll beat them by 2 touchdowns
Yeah, that's
unless Micah just goes off for like 3 or 4 sacks like he did against what was it, Arizona.
yeah, I mean it's obviously possible. I think I'm gonna lean towards what you did though. I'm gonna go with the Packers winning, but I don't think they win by enough to cover that spread. They might even win by 11, 12 points. I just don't think they'll get there. I don't think they'll win by 14.
Yeah, I don't see it either. And then, but Carolina though, this is an important game because with Tampa Bay on a bye, this is their chance to kind of catch up in the division and kind of gain some ground with Tampa Bay on the bye week.
Yep, and Green Bay's blew a couple of games against teams like this. Not that are not even as good as Carolina, honestly. I just don't think the Packers. I'm still not smelling what everybody else is smelling over there, just like you. I know you're not seeing really what everybody's seeing. I just don't see them as a team that's gonna light anyone up right now. And I'm not saying they can't. I just don't see it happening consistently. And I think this is too big of a spread for them.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like they have flashes, like the first 2 games of the season, and then last week against Pittsburgh. It's like okay, if they play like that all year, then yeah, they're gonna play in the Super Bowl for sure.
Yeah.
But then I've also seen games where they lose to Cleveland, or they tied to Dallas. That defense gave up 40 points to the Cowboys,
Yeah.
and then they barely beat Arizona, and Arizona's not good.
Yeah, I think that at times they've struggled to put up points consistently, so that's why I think the spread's too big. This might even be an upset alert game.
I won't go that far, but I think Carolina can cover.
I think it's one of those things. I forgot what game I said it about last week, and it happened. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I said this is one of those games where they'll either blow them out or they'll lose, and they lost the game. I think it's just like it's one of those things. Like I think when a team comes in not respecting you and it drags in halfway through the first quarter, sometimes it's already like a gotcha moment. Like one team just came way more hungry. It's too late for you to wake up. The game's over. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying that this will happen because I don't think the Packers will blow them out. But I think that if the Panthers keep this game under 10 points, they'll have a chance to steal one.
We'll see. So we'll move on to the next game. We have the Denver Broncos, who are 6-2, at the Houston Texans, who are 3-4.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, the Texans are 1.5 point favorites. I thought the Broncos would be the favorites in this game. Denver did exactly what we said they were going to do last week, which is blow out the Cowboys. I know everybody thought it'd be a closer game because the Broncos struggled against the Giants, but from everything I heard from the Broncos after the game, especially from their defensive players, that they didn't know that Jackson Dart was as good as he is. Like they didn't really respect him, and
Yeah.
they had to learn the hard way that this kid's is good.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would be an issue with Dallas. I think with Dallas we saw that Denver still has a top 5 defense,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm surprised, especially what we've seen from Houston this season. I'm surprised that Houston's actually favored in this game. But I'll just make it quick. I think the Broncos will win. So obviously they cover the 1.5. What's your thoughts?
Um, I I'm gonna go with you first. I'll make it simple. I'm gonna match what you just said. I got Denver, so obviously they're covering. I think they win the game. But this is one of those things where it's like, what do they know that we don't? And there's been a couple of these games this year. Like it almost makes me want to put 100 on Houston now. It's like you must, and don't get me wrong, Houston does look like they woke up a little bit from what they looked like at the beginning of the year, but good enough to be the favorites here.
Well, you know what? We said the same thing last week when they played the Niners. And then when I was watching the game, they mentioned how D'Amico Ryan used to work for Kyle Shanahan. And I forgot all about that. And it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense because if anybody knows this offense, it's him. You know, he had to practice against it using those meetings with Shanahan. So
Well,
he
this
obviously he can come up with a way to stop it.
yeah, well, there's got to be something here that they have some inside source, maybe because it's Shannon. But even though this isn't even, I don't, there's got to be something. But I'm just looking like this, right? I'm going with the Broncos to win. Obviously, they're underdogs. You get the spread. Um, but if they lose, I'm not gonna be surprised because these games just always seem awkward to me. I don't care what they know. I don't care if they stole the playbook. They shouldn't be the favorite over the 6-2 Broncos right now, who lead their division. Happen to be in the division with the Chiefs.
Honestly, they should have the best record of the NFL, not the Colts, because
Yeah,
the Colts stole one against them. The referee stole that game from them.
100%, 100%.
So they're the and even I mean and actually they could be 8-0 because they lost to the Chargers on the last second field goal too. So
And that's why I don't understand like what you see here. Um, the Broncos maybe in the beginning of the season didn't look like it, but this is why I picked them to win that division. I thought this is what they would look like, more like what they kind of look like going into the end of last year. And I don't even think they got their stride yet, but to think that Tennessee can beat them is one thing. To say that they're the favorite in this game, there's got
you
to
mean Houston?
yeah, excuse me, Houston. But to say that they're the favorite here, it's a little bit of delusion going there.
Yeah, I mean it's beyond me.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Me neither. So you got the Broncos as well. So do I. We'll see what Vegas sees, but tomorrow, next game we have the Atlanta Falcons at the New England Patriots. Atlanta 3-4. They've now lost 2 games in a row. The Patriots have now won 5 straight. They're leading their division at 6-2. They're 4.5 point favorites in this game. And I'll make it quick. I think New England wins and they cover the 4.5. It doesn't really matter who's the quarterback for the Falcons. I don't see them winning this game.
I'll be quick too. This I think Patriots blow out another team close. So I got Patriots covering it easily.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what the Falcons. I don't know what the Falcons are doing because like they have so much talent that they should be better than what they are, and I don't know if it's coaching. And I love Raheem Morris, but maybe he's not the right coach for that team. But it's just something going on. Like there's games like against Buffalo where it's like, okay, this team could probably make the playoffs and go on a deep run. And there's games like we've seen the last 2 weeks where they get blown out by Chicago or they get blown out by Miami. And it's like, I'm not Chicago, but by Carolina.
Yeah.
And they just look like they don't even belong in the NFL.
Well, I hope they keep losing.
Well, yeah, for our sakes, yes. Yeah.
Hate to be a hater,
Maybe
but
Maybe Raheem's still working for the Rams. He just on.
you gotta. Hey, listen, when Shula leaves next year, you could come home, baby. We got you. You slide right in. DC,
He's pulling a Chauncey Billups.
let's go. Slide back in that D coordinator situation, my brother. Whenever,
Actually, speaking of Chauncey Billups, the Blazers have won like 4 games in a row since he got arrested.
yeah, since they stopped cheating,
Yeah, after they coach, now that they got a coach that's actually trying to win and they're actually winning games now.
he said now the coach isn't telling him you can't shoot. He said, "Oh, I can shoot." I mean, don't rebound the ball. Listen, it's different when they're telling you to go for the rebound. I mean, it hit different.
It's like they trying to figure out like man, coach must have money in this game because he keeps making decisions that make us lose every game.
Yeah. Said, "Mr. Free throw."
Missed the free throw. Oh man. But yeah, Raheem might be doing the same thing for the Falcons. I mean, no losing just to help the Rams get that draft pick.
Yeah, I respect it.
All right, the next game we have the San Francisco 49ers. They're 5-3 at the New York Giants, 2-6. For the Giants, the story is that they lost Cam Scatterbo. He's out for the season after breaking his ankle last week. A lot of people breaking their ankles this year too. That's the third one.
Yeah.
We had James Conner, Fred Warner, and now Cam Scatterbo.
And
So I don't know what's going on with breaking ankles this year.
he like cracked his fibula and got ligament damage, but they said it was a clean surgery and it should be good for training camp. We'll see how
Yeah, they say that it says like a 4 month recovery, 4 to 6 month recovery.
we're gonna see how that strength comes back. That's the problem.
Yeah, let's see if he can get it back. But
Yeah,
hopefully he does, because like I keep saying, the Giants have a great future.
yeah, they do.
But for this game, okay. I don't know. This game is I
So
think the Niners will win, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Giants pull off the upset.
just say it. It's an upset alert.
Yeah, I think it's upset alert. I think the Giants can pull this off.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, it wouldn't surprise me if they do, but the Niners are 2.5 point favorites. I mean, for the Giants, it's losing Scatterbo it's gonna hurt. There was some questionable calls too last week against that Philly game,
Yeah,
but I think the Giants are heading in the right direction. I think the future's bright.
yeah,
I still question if Dayball is the right coach for them, even though you think they should give him at least one more year.
yeah.
But I think somehow the Niners pull it out. So I'm gonna take the Niners to win. But I do think this game's on upset alert. It won't surprise me if the Giants pull this out.
But I'll keep it short and clean. We're thinking the same thing. I think this is definitely a game circled on upset alert. I think Jackson Dart got every team he plays from this for the rest of the year on upset alert because he's talented. But with that being said, I'm gonna say the Rams. I mean, excuse me, the Niners find a way to pull this out and cover the spread. I wouldn't be mad if they lost though.
Me neither. And Robert Sala, speaking of Jackson Dart, Robert Sala did give Jackson Dart his flowers, saying that this kid's gonna be special, and that no, and then not Sala said that this week, but then last week Vic Fangio was saying that he didn't know what the other 24 teams in the NFL were thinking, passing on that kid because he went 25th to the Giants. But
To be fair,
yeah, I'm
to be fair, um, Rams might have wanted him. They didn't get the opportunity.
well, the best thing that happened to Jackson Dart though is that Shador Sanders didn't take that interview serious with the Giants.
Yeah,
If not, you'd be starting right now.
and maybe that would be with the Rams.
Yeah, but yeah, and also he's Eli Manning's son's favorite quarterback.
Yeah,
He dressed up as it for Halloween.
that's fire.
So next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts at 7-1 at the Pittsburgh Steelers at 4-3. The Colts are 3.5 point favorites. Carly Ursay, she made news this week because she finally explained why she's on the sidelines, and I think I don't know. People online are trying to praise her and say she's the best owner in the league, but no, spade is spade. It's micromanaging, and
Yeah,
I don't know how anybody could think what she's doing is a good thing.
yeah, that's all unnecessary. But I'm just gonna wait for it to explode, and we'll pull up the videos with the "I told you so." With as far as the game, though, I think the Colts win this fairly easily. I got them covered.
Yeah, I got them covering too. I can see Jonathan Taylor running all over the Steelers defense. He should be the MVP favorite right now, not Patrick Mahomes, but I understand that the MVP for the last 15 years or so has become a quarterback award. But the
Yeah,
days of like running backs winning it or are long gone, and a defensive player hasn't won it since '86. So I was even before I was born.
yeah,
Since the last time we had a defensive player win it, it's just been all quarterbacks for the last 15 years, and I think that's going to happen again this year. But Jonathan Taylor should definitely get some votes.
yeah,
But I agree with you. I think the Colts win and they cover the 3.5.
yeah. And if you don't remember, I don't know how bold of a prediction it was because he had two other games like this. But last week's show, I said he'd have 3 touchdowns again.
Yeah,
went out and did it. Scored 3 touchdowns again.
I know you called it.
Yeah, just something about that team can't stop nobody. Like records get broken on them. It just is what it is.
I don't even remember who they played last week.
I think it was the Titans, right?
Oh yeah, it was the Titans.
Yeah, this that's what I'm telling you. Like, 'cause I think there was like a couple other backs that every time they played the Titans, it was like 200, 200, 200. It's like I don't know what it is with that.
Well, speaking of the Titans, our next game, unfortunately for them, the Chargers don't have any backs because they're all hurt.
Yeah,
So they get the unless Justin Herbert just runs wild on them.
yeah.
But they get the LA Chargers at 5-3, take on the Tennessee Titans 1-7. The Chargers are 9.5 point favorites. Good thing for the Chargers, they still don't have any running backs. That's the bad news. But the good news though is that for the most part they're getting healthy. Their O line is all came back last week. Um,
That looked good last week.
yeah, Khalil Mack came back last week as well. They're getting more of their old linebackers too. They some of them came back last week. I think some are coming back this week too. So they're getting healthy in the right spots. Running back wise, I mean, I think they're on their third string running back.
Yeah,
He
he looked,
played okay last week, so hopefully he keeps it up. But yeah, I think the Chargers win this game fairly easily, and I think they cover the 9.5. And I do want to say about because we talked about Jackson Dart earlier.
yeah,
Jackson Dart was named NFL Offensive Rookie of the Month,
yeah.
and right now he has to be the favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
He's
But he was picked 25th. The person that was picked number one was Cam Ward, and last year we were killing Caleb Williams, but Cam Ward so far this year seems like he's getting a pass. But I think he needs to get the smoke too. But
yeah,
he's the number one pick, and if we're gonna hold Caleb Williams to a standard, we gotta hold Cam Ward to the same standard, being the former number one pick.
yeah. He doesn't
And
look.
I don't know if it's because he's playing in Tennessee, it's a small market,
Of
or
course,
Caleb
that's
Williams plays in Chicago, a large market. But nobody's really talking about Cam Ward and his struggles.
he doesn't look good, man. The coaching doesn't look good. The team doesn't. Nothing over there looks good. I mean, you could go over there. You could talk for 24 hours about stuff that doesn't look good on the Tennessee Titans, but this spread could have been 17. I still would have said the Chargers probably cover it, or at least would have had to think about it. But this is an upset alert. This is blowout alert.
Well, the one thing that will scare me though about the Chargers, and I told you this when they played the Giants,
Yeah,
for some reason they do not play well at 1 p.m. East Coast games.
yeah,
Because for us here in LA, that's 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, most West Coast teams, when they play on the East Coast, they try to spend like the whole week there so that their body can adjust to the time difference. I don't know if the Chargers just get there Saturday night and play the game Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, but for some reason, that team, it doesn't matter if it's the LA Chargers or San Diego Chargers with Phillip Rivers, like they always lose these early East Coast games.
I I just don't think Tennessee has enough to even make it even remotely a game. But we'll see. They probably could roll out of bed and beat these guys. So 1 hour sleep, came from a frat party, half drunk. They smoked them by 3 touchdowns.
And Jim Harbaugh's talking about that frat party.
Yeah, you probably would have threw it.
All right, next up we got the Jacksonville Jaguars,
Yeah,
4-3 at the Las Vegas Raiders, 2-5.
yeah,
The Jaguars got some bad news. Travis Hunter got hurt in practice. They put him on IR, so
yeah,
he's gonna miss at least the next 4 weeks. But maybe that will give Brian Thomas some more targets. And
yeah.
and before Hunter got hurt, it seems like they're no longer playing Hunter on defense. They're just concentrating him on offense. It seems like more and more. But the Jaguars are 2.5 point favorites on the road. The Raiders are not good, and I think Jacksonville wins this game easily.
Yeah. I got the Jaguars winning actually by 3 points, so I got them covered.
Yeah, I mean the question for the Raiders is either A, at what point do you bench Gino and put in Pickett because he Kenny
I,
Pickett can't be any worse, or B, does Geno Smith break James Winston's interception record this year?
I,
because he's on pace to throw 26.
I'm gonna throw a few things out there. First of all, we're way past that point. I would have been put Pickett in, but the fact they brought Ty Lockett over for Gino tells you that he'll probably last the season. And my answer is this: if he starts every game this season, he beats that record.
Okay, Tyler Lockett though he might be washed because
I'm not
he
saying,
didn't he didn't he didn't do anything in Tennessee.
yeah, but sometimes that's just like a coaching decision to play the younger guys over him because they know they don't have a winning team. They might have thought maybe they had a chance when they signed him.
Well, the one thing in his favor though he knows that system for playing for Pete Carroll Seattle all those years.
I just don't think it will matter. I think he's probably one of the reasons why he throws the 30 interceptions, thinking you're still good.
That's what I'm saying. He's on pace for 26, so he's close.
So he's gonna have a
But
couple, 3, 4 touches, 3, 4 interception games coming. They're coming.
yeah, now nobody's talking about Tom Brady giving them inside information. Whatever information Tom Brady's giving them, it's the wrong information.
Absolutely. Like signing Geno Smith.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna be in the running for a quarterback too. And now people are saying that they made a mistake drafting Ashton Genty. No, that running back is not really their problem.
Yeah,
They got other.
yeah. I don't think that was a mistake. You need to fix everything else. He's the one mistake you don't got.
Yeah. Well, next up we have the game we're gonna be watching closely. The 1-7 New Orleans Saints at the 5-2 LA Rams. The Saints making a quarterback change to going with the oldest rookie, Tyler Shook.
Shook.
Yeah, he's 26 years old. He's the same age as Trevor Lawrence, even though Trevor Lawrence has been in the league for 5 years and he's a rookie. But he'll get his first career start
He left
this
out that
week.
Trevor Lawrence is actually good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kellen Moore, the Saints head coach, he's seen enough of Spencer Rattler. So now he's gonna go with Tyler Shook. I don't know if he's doing this to save the season to see what he has in him, or are the Saints really trying to tank? Like, okay, the Jets won, now we have the same record as them, so let's go for it. Let's see if we get that number one pick. But the Rams are 14-point favorites, and I think the Rams cover.
It's a tough spread, but I think the Rams cover this easily too. I think this is definitely a blowout. I don't even think this is blowout alert. I think this is just blowout coming.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna see. It's not even just the Rams. You got to remember, this is gonna be a rookie thrown into the fire with the top five defense. He's gonna probably give up a touchdown or two, and I'm talking about a pick six or maybe a fumble in the red zone where it's like it causes an easy touchdown. So Rams should cover this 14 pretty easily.
yeah. I mean, this guy, he's so good. He spent 6 years in college, so
Yeah,
I think the Rams can win this game pretty easily.
yeah, me too. I think it's gonna be a bad, probably 44-17 type of situation.
I said as though you spent 6 years in college, but he better have got his master's degree. 'Cause ain't no way you just spend 6 years in college and just come into the league at 26.
Sometimes they have if they was back up on like a team or something, they might have a couple extra years of eligibility. He might have just been there 6 years. Maybe he wasn't even playing football for the first two. So you kind of just gotta look into it. It could be you wasn't good enough, or it could be maybe that just wasn't what he was doing in the beginning.
Not, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, I know even if you have eligibility, you still got to be taking classes.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. Like, he had better at least gotten his master's degree if
that's
you're
what
gonna be staying in college for 6 years.
That's exactly what I'm saying. He might have not been focused. He might have been more focused on getting the degree in football secondary. That's why I said I would have to look into his situation. But
Uh,
6 years is a long time to be there before the NFL.
yeah. All right, let me go to the next game. Pull it up real quick. We have the Kansas City Chiefs 5-3 at the Buffalo Bills 5-2. This is I was actually surprised. The Chiefs are favored to win this game by 2 points, but the Bills in the regular season have dominated the Chiefs. They beat them every year in the regular season. It's in the playoffs where the Chiefs always get them back. Um, so knowing that, I'm actually surprised that the Chiefs are actually the favorites in this game. This game is in Buffalo,
Yeah.
and the Chiefs, they are playing well. They're playing so well that the betting favorite for most of the year was Packers Bills in the Super Bowl. Now it's Packers Chiefs,
Yeah.
but I'm actually thinking Buffalo will win this game. They have the Chiefs number in the regular season at least, and I think that continues this week. What's your thoughts on this game, Chiefs Bills?
Um, I'm gonna go opposite, but I'm gonna tell you why. And you're absolutely right with everything you said, but I think this is the difference here. The Chiefs usually start off the season, they haven't lost a game. They're striding. They run into a hungry Bills team that always plays them like it's their Super Bowl in the regular season, and they always come out and they, like you said, they dominate them. This year, I think what the difference is, the Chiefs didn't come out looking good. The Chiefs are catching their stride right now. The Bills, they're doing all right, but I don't think that you're gonna catch the Chiefs sleeping here. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs covering, and I think that that domination in the regular season stops now. But it also could mean that maybe the domination of the Bills in the playoffs stops this year.
I was just going to ask you, like, do you think it's going to be a reversal?
That's what I'm. Yeah. So
The Chiefs beat them in the regular season, but the Bills beat them in the playoffs.
because maybe the Bills figured out that this isn't the Super Bowl game; it's the playoff one. So I think that we could possibly see reverse this year. But I think the Chiefs get this game. I think they know they need it more right now. They're fighting for first place in their division. So aren't
Well,
the
so is the Bills though. They gotta keep up with New England.
so aren't the Bills. But what I was gonna say is the Chiefs have been the team to show you that they're the better team when it comes to the come down. And I think this is one of those times where it's an important game for them. I don't think they can afford to drop it with the way that the Chargers and Broncos are playing.
I mean, you have valid points, but I still think I think Buffalo will win this game. But Bills fans though, they're Bills Mafia out there. They're hoping that you're right that they lose this game, but then maybe they get them in the playoffs. No reversal.
Hey, save your win for the playoffs.
And if that happens, the Bills just might make the Super Bowl this year.
That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to help Buffalo out, man. You listen to me, or you don't have to. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so now we have the Sunday night game. We have the Seattle Seahawks 5-2 at the Washington Commanders 3-5. Marcus Mariota will get the start once again, and I find it funny.
Are you sure Daniels ain't back? Double check that.
Let me double check that real quick. But I was gonna say though, I find it funny that the Commanders announced they're gonna be wearing their throwbacks this week, but they can't use the name Redskins. They got the Commanders logo on the helmet instead of the Redskins logo, but they're wearing the Redskins uniforms.
That's so stupid.
It is, and it's like, what's the point of even having the throwbacks then if you can't even use the name? You can use the uniforms, but not the name.
No, yeah, Daniels is in, bro.
Yeah, I just looked that up. So yeah, Jen Downs will play tomorrow. He will start despite dealing with the knee and a hamstring.
Yeah, it's funny because he had a out beside him yesterday, but I thought earlier I seen it was removed. It might have just been there.
Yeah, it says he's playing tomorrow.
That's good for them.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts on the game though? You think is gonna win? I think let me bring it. Seattle's 3-point favorites.
Right. So let me just throw it out there. Upset alert. This is definitely an upset alert game. Um, I wish there was a half a point, but I got a tie game here. Like I have it at like a 23-20 game. Um, but I guess if we're gonna have to. I'm just gonna pick one here. I'm gonna take Seattle. I'd say there's probably a better chance Seattle wins and covers than they get upset. So I lean towards Seattle covering.
I think Seattle wins this game. I'm with you. I think they cover. For Washington, Terry McLaurin is out. He aggravated his quad, so he's not going to play.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that Jaden Daniels is playing because not only is he dealing with the hammy, he also has that sprained knee too. So I mean they're 3-5. The NFC is tough, so I don't know if they're gonna get a wild card or not. As far as the division is concerned, they're like 3 or 4 games behind Philly. I mean, so with Jaden Daniels, I mean, what's do you agree with them even risking it at this point, or do you think they should just sit him out until he's completely healthy?
I personally, you know how I feel about franchise quarterbacks. You just don't risk it because it's gonna always typically be more bad than good, like the RG3 situation.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, um, I would sit him, but I mean, if if he's not at risk, if they're saying he's not at risk, especially with the knee, then I guess it'd be fine to play him. But that'd be the main thing I'd be concerned with. If he has a knee sprain, it has potential to do a whole bunch of different things. So if there's a sprain there, I'm not playing him. But I mean, it comes down to how he's feeling, really.
Well, yeah, and also to the hamstring as well.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm less worried about his hamstring because even if
Yeah,
he pulls that whatever, it's like all right now we just sit him. But if he rips his MCL or something, now it's like now he's looking at rehab. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Surgeries, etc. So the hammy I'm not concerned with. The knee I am a little concerned with.
But yeah, I got Seattle winning, and I think they covered the 3 points.
Yeah,
And then last but not least, Monday night we have Arizona 2-5 at the Dallas Cowboys at 3-4-1. Dallas is 3 point favorites in this game, and the Cardinals announced today that Jacoby Brissett will start for the third week in a row.
yeah.
So Cardinals Cowboys Monday night. It looks like it might be a bad Monday night game. Two sorry ass teams, but who do you got? Cardinals or Cowboys?
I think this is another potential upset alert. Actually, with Jacoby Brissett, 'cause I think he's a pretty solid quarterback, especially when it comes to being safe. But I got the Cowboys covering it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Cowboys win this game. I think the only reason why it is on upset alert
Yeah,
is because, uh, excuse me, is because the Cowboys defense is so bad.
exactly. And
And
Trey,
also too, we talked about JJ McCarthy, that it was like a quiet benching.
yeah,
Do you think the same thing's happening now with Kyler Murray? Like I know they said his foot is hurting him or something, but everybody thought he was going to play, and they're
wonder if
saying
he's,
that's going to be Jacoby Brissett again.
I wonder if he's available to be traded, or maybe someone maybe made a call on him, and that's why they're holding him out in case something goes through. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, he comes back to the field. If it does go through, maybe he gets traded. But I would say
If he
most
gets
likely.
traded though, that means doesn't that mean Arizona's going to rebuild?
I mean, are they not? Do they not look like they need to?
I mean, we talked about it earlier, but yeah, Kyler Murray's been there for 7 years and hasn't done anything.
Remember we said early in the year. I told you if Kyler don't have a great year, I think this would be his last year there.
Yeah,
Um, I think we might be at that situation. Like it might be available. Teams might know. Vikings might be calling. Um, I don't know what teams would necessarily be interested. Maybe the Bengals. I doubt that, but you get what I'm saying. If some team did call, maybe that's what they're working out right now, and there's no reason to risk injuring them if you're gonna trade him. You know, but it,
yeah. I don't see the Bengals being interested only because of his contract.
yeah, I
They
would.
just need somebody to hold it down until Joe Burrow gets back.
Yeah, I think they brought the perfect option over there for them, outside of maybe Jameis Winston. But I'd probably lean towards he's probably really hurt, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's something else going on.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking too. 'Cause they just keep saying it's a foot injury, but it's like, I mean, yeah, maybe he did hurt his foot. I don't know, but I just think like foot injury to me is kind of like your back. It's just so vague that you don't really know, is he really hurt, or are they just benching him but they're using the foot as an excuse on why he can't play?
I have no idea, bro. I like I said, I lean towards probably he probably maybe hurt himself a little bit more than he thought. Um, he's waiting in the parking lot somewhere at the end of a line trying to get a new video game. Maybe it take a couple of days. All jokes aside, now I think he's probably hurt, but I do think they would take calls on him if somebody called him, so that it could get interesting. What would you say is your best bet for the week with the spread?
My best bet of the week is, and I just had it too. Let me go back because we were talking about it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, my best bet of the week is Cincinnati plus 2.5 with the Bears. I think the not only did the Bengals cover the 2.5, but I think they beat Chicago. They get the upset.
that's a nice one. I'm gonna go with the Patriots over the Falcons. I think the spread is like 5.5 or 4.5 or something. I don't think
Right now it's 4.5.
they'll win by at least a touchdown, but I do believe it'll be a blowout, to tell you the truth. So I'll go with the Pats over the Falcons. My best bet.
All right. And then quickly, so we're at the halfway point of the season.
Yeah,
So I want to go over our preseason picks and see where we're at and if we're still sticking by what we picked.
go ahead. You want to
All
do the
right.
one, or you want to clip it and do a new video?
Um, I
All
mean we can clip it.
right, let's clip it first. Let them know where to find us. We'll clip this one and we'll do that. We'll jump right in and do the other video.
All right. All right. So you can find us at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and Amazon Music. And make sure you like and subscribe us on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
And you can follow us. Our Twitter handle is right there at the bottom of the screen. And don't forget to scan the QR code.
Yeah, and don't forget to put in Mob Squad 508 for 10% off all your W Energy purchases. Get yourself some energy for whatever you need to do throughout your day.
Yes,
But we're
sir.
signing out. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's have a good Sunday.
Peace.